Look, I see the same question everywhere right now. AI agency owners who have the skills, who know the tools, who've done the work, but they still have zero clients. Just take a look at this little search I did in Reddit this AM. You can see here, I just put in, how do I get clients? Look at these posts 4 days ago. How do I get clients? Here's a big one right here, right? Here's, where do you find your clients? 4 days ago. How to get clients 1 month ago. How are you guys getting clients? How do you get a client 1 day ago? Look at this. Look at this thread of all these people who have the skills, who know what to do, but cannot get a single client. Well, look, here's the point I'm going to make in today's training. It's not your skills. It's not the AI tools you're using. It's one specific mistake in how you're positioning yourself. And I'm going to break that down on today's live coaching call. Then I want you in the comments with your specific situation. So if you don't want to cold call local businesses, send mass cold DMs or email blasts, pay for ads to generate your own leads, or attend in-person networking events and work the room, or just be that person that is like sliding into DMs on Facebook, that kind of makes you feel like you need to take a shower after, well, then this training is going to be for you. So I want you to let me know in the comments what you're struggling with. What is the one thing in your mind right now, in your way, that if you got that one thing out of the way, you would be making forward progress? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to take those questions. And overall, I'm just going to show you how to make your prospecting not feel like you're getting a root canal. So before we dive in, if you could do me a favor, subscribe, like, turn on notifications, drop a comment in below on the video. I have an amazing list of AI cheat sheets and prompts and all kinds of things that I would like to send you. So if you drop a comment below, I will send you a link to join my free school group. Inside that school group, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go back here to community. There's this pinned post called the weekly coaching call pinned post. On this pinned post is a link not only to all of the weekly live coaching calls, but there's also a link to a special bonus document that includes a ton of AI cheat sheets, lots of trainings that I've done in this group, things like that. So if you want that, and I suggest you get it, then drop a comment below. I will send you a link to get this as well. All right, so we're going to get going in today's training. And, I mentioned that in my view, the biggest problem I see with people is the way that they're going about getting their clients, right? Their positioning, the way they're approaching businesses. It's the whole reason that I have been working on a way to sound different, come at businesses from a different angle since back in 2012, right? Now that has evolved, grown over the years. Now I have a software, Smart Directory AI, that I built to automate a lot of the process and the strategy and the thing I developed. But I want to just talk for a minute about how you view the process of prospecting. Because let me ask everyone a question. I see a lot of people on here right now. What's up, Kaz, Patty, Make It With AI, Charles, what's up? Good to see you guys. Barbara, Jimmy, welcome. So when you think of successful prospecting, what does that process actually look like in your mind? Let me know in the comments. Do you see like, oh, well, it's an effortless process? Like, oh, somehow the clients just come to me and I don't have to engage or do anything with them? Do you see it as a process of like, oh, well, I need to build a relationship and how do I do that? And when you're in your mind, do you see yourself actually talking to these prospects, not talking to them? Like, what do you think a successful prospecting scenario looks like? Jimmy says, I'm struggling to even get someone to let me perform a trial of services in order to get a case study. Jimmy, yes. And I'll tell you why that is. Because AI has made the trust online horrible. No one trusts anyone online anymore. If you come to somebody and you're like, hey, I've got this great thing, it's free, just try it. They just ignore you because there's so much of that out there, right? Hey, Paul, what's up? So I'll give you some suggestions and things, Jimmy, on how you can get around that. But anybody have somebody says making calls. They see the prospecting process as making calls. Okay. Well, here's why I bring this up. Because I do think that it's important to understand what a successful prospecting process looks like. And the reason that I think a lot of people misunderstand this part is because I see so many people focused on volume, right? Volume and automation. Like they just think if they can figure out the right automation, I see somebody said much of it is automated, right? Well, look, there's only so much automation can do, right? Like there is a point, especially when you're talking about building trust and building long-term clients that are going to pay you high ticket amounts for services. Like they're just not, I mean, would you just send somebody $5,000 that you'd never met, that you didn't know, that you had no idea about? No, right? You wouldn't do that. So why do we think that these businesses that we're reaching out to would do that, right? So I want to just take a minute and showcase a couple things that came up in the group, some wins that kind of illustrate what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to go to the school group right here. Okay. You guys see the school group here? Okay. So the first one I want to go to is, where is it at? TD Hunt. So TD shared this post. I don't know if you've seen it or not seen it, but I think this is a fantastic example of the process that we talk about here using the directory approach. So maybe let me step back for just a second. Maybe some of you are new. Maybe you just stumbled upon this video and you don't even know what that is. So let me just do a quick little recap of our approach. So because the marketplace is so crowded, because the market is so crowded with people selling AI agents, AI services, because it is so hard just to get somebody to listen to you, even if you're offering something for free, because trust is at an all-time low and everybody just sounds the same across the board. I have a strategy where we lead our prospecting not from an agency or as a freelancer, but as the builder of a local community site or a site that is built around a niche. For instance, like here's one of our users who built one around senior care, right? They focus on senior care for clients. So they built this little resource site around senior care. So it doesn't have to just be around a location. It can also be around a specific niche. We've also got another member who built one around the fitness industry in Chicago, right? So he's doing both. He's targeting a niche and an area. So we use this as our front-facing prospecting brand, okay? So now the way the process goes is we lead with value. We have the ability to list businesses on here for free. So we find a list of people that we would like to become our clients. Like we do some research. We build a list of, oh, we think these are clients that are good enough. Like these could make great clients for us. They have a problem that we can solve. Maybe we find a list of businesses that don't have an AI agent on their website, or they're using an old school chatbot. Maybe their website needs to be redesigned. Just whatever service that we have to sell, whether that's review management, Google Business Profile Optimization, we look for a list of businesses that have that problem, right? Their Google Business Profile isn't claimed. They're not responding to reviews, because that is the service that we sell. Once we identify those businesses, we then add them to our directory and we let automation do some of the heavy lifting. So once they're added to the directory, we send them an email. It looks something like this that basically just tells them, hey, you have a free listing on this local community resource site that I built. It's already live. I actually used information that was publicly available. I'm just sending you this email because since this is live online, I want to make sure that your information is correct. Can you let me know, is this your correct business name, address? And by the way, if you send me your website, I can add that too, because if somebody finds your listing, it'd be great if they could click through your website, right? So this is the basic initial message. So instead of coming in like everybody else, trying to sell a service, trying to do all that stuff, we're coming in as a champion of local businesses and as someone who is promoting them. Like, we're not pitching, we're not selling. We're just, hey, this thing is already live. We're not asking them to be on our directory. They're already there. We just need them to confirm their information. Now, on the back end of this, when someone confirms their information, then we get those messages here in this conversations section of the back end of the software, and we can respond to them, right? So when somebody comes in here and they say, hey, yes, that's my correct business information, we treat that as a gigantic win because we have done the hardest part. We have got someone to actually respond to us. So now what we do is we just say, hey, thank you for confirming the information. I really appreciate that. Here's a link to your live listing on my site so you can check it out. By the way, if you claim your listing, which is free, it allows you to kind of lock in that info. And if you need to make edits in the future, you can go in and change it. Now, this is a manual reply, right? Like, there's not really a way to automate this part because we've initiated a conversation with this person. Now, here's the thing. This is not really a cold lead anymore because they've responded to us first. So they're worth spending a little bit of time on to actually reply. And then usually when I send them that link to that listing, I'll say something like, by the way, I noticed when I was setting up your listing that your Google business profile isn't claimed. That's really important. I actually help businesses do that. If you'd like some help getting your listing claimed, I'd be happy to help. Just let me know. Right? So no more hard pressure sales, no more begging for business, none of that stuff, right? Very natural conversations that lead with value that bring in. So that's what we're doing here. Now, we have automations and a ton of stuff and a voice AI agent and an outbound agent and an inbound agent and all these things to help automate as much of that interaction as possible. But the reality is, you're going to get involved at some point with that potential prospect or client if you really want to close them. And so this is kind of what I'm pointing out here. I think too many people just think that there's just going to be a magic bullet, right? But this is typically how the process goes. And I just want you to adjust your expectations around this because, look, if you're only engaging with 5 to 10 people on a weekly basis, but one of them turns into a paying client, does it really matter that you're not engaging with 100? Right? Like, we have to get that part of, look, we can actually turn someone into a paying client first, and then we can start worrying about scaling. Does everybody get that part, right? Like, there's no point in trying to figure out how to scale everything or automate even more of the process if we can't at least get one paying client first. We've got to get a client first, then another, then we can start worrying about how do we scale and is there a more efficient way to do this and all that stuff. Does that make sense to everyone? I like the strategic marketing consultant says, I'm looking for quality conversations. Yeah, and that's what this strategy and process does, because look at what happened to TD here, right? So he says this is a small win, but I think this is a gigantic win because this process is exactly what Smart Directory AI was designed to do, right? So here's what he said. So he said, although this is a rather small win at the moment, it proves the power of the process and the impact a personal connection can have in our business. Remember that. Personal connection, trust, personal connection. Those are the things that lead to a highly successful business with long-term clients and monthly recurring revenue. So here's what happened. He says, look, a prospect answered yes last week. They didn't claim their listing. They didn't upgrade to one of his premiums. They simply replied, yes, that information is correct. Now, I see a lot of people who don't treat this as a win. They go, well, I'm not getting any replies, Tom. And I'm like, well, that's a reply. And they're like, no. If they claim their listing, I'm only counting if they claim their listing, or I'm only counting if they upgrade to premium. Like, that's the wrong focus, right? Before we can get to that point, we need to just get somebody to reply. So a reply is a big win. And now our job when somebody replies, even something as simple as this, is to engage that person and start an actual conversation like we're a real living human being, which we are, and that they're a real human living being, which they are. They just happen to have a problem that we think we can help them fix, right? So anyway, he said this business owner required, I'm not gonna reply. I'm not gonna go into all the details of this. It turned out their story was very similar to his dad's story, this HVAC company, right? They're both in this Coke vending machine and all that stuff. So he says, today, while I was writing a personalized email to Jason, so look, this part, he's right on track. He didn't try to automate this. He didn't just blow Jason off because Jason didn't claim his listing or purchase an upgrade. He's like, hey, here's a person that actually engaged. I'm going to engage back. So he's writing a personalized email to Jason, the current owner, to let him know that he was just going to upgrade his listing to premium for free. And then Jason emailed him while he was doing this and said, hey, I'm having trouble logging into my listing. Now, here's another mental shift for you. Some people look at that and go, crap. TD looked at that and went, hey, this is another opportunity for me to engage with this person. I can help them get logged in, build trust even more, add value, and show them that, hey, I'm responsive. I'm here to help them, right? Like, he didn't look at this and go, oh, crap. Like, why didn't the automation, like, why can't they log in? Why didn't this work? Like, he sees this for what it is, another opportunity to build a personal connection with this person, right? So he said he was on the conversations tab that I just showed you because he was writing an email to him, right? So he just, when that message came in, he just clicked the little phone icon and he gave Jason a call. And he said, hey, I just saw your message, right? And he helped Jason log in. And just like that, he was able to inform him he'd been upgraded, that the login situation was temporary. And wouldn't you know it, Jason and his brother ran their own vending machine like TD. So this came up in the conversation, right? He said, blew my, I'm not going to say the word, mind. So now he has a Zoom call next week to show Jason around the upgraded listing, and of course to discuss their website that doesn't have a chat widget and their Facebook page that they haven't posted to in 9 months but has 1,000 followers. Like, look at that opportunity right there. My friends, these are great times and we were fortunate enough to be part of it. So this, and he puts a site here so you can go check it out, right? But look, the site, again, the site is irrelevant here. He used it as a foot in the door to start that personal connection and get this thing going. Does everybody really see the power in this? I mean, I really hope that you get this. And maybe a lot of you are going, Tom, I know this, like, what? But like, I see so many people, they tell me they understand this, but then when the rubber hits the road, their actions show me that they don't really get this, right? They complain about having to actually reach out to people. They complain about having to deal with the client, right? Like, so look, every opportunity is a chance for you when you are dealing with somebody from the directory to show them why you're different and how a client experience with you will be amazing. And it all starts with how you handle these little things that come up, right? Somebody can't log in. Are you just blowing that off and trying to fix it without actually talking to them? Or are you like, oh, I really want to use this as an opportunity to build this connection and help them get going, right? So that's number one. So TD's story here, it's in the group. I encourage you to go read it. I mean, there's tons of great comments here. But like, this is a great example of, I am 100% confident that TD is going to end up with clients. If he just keeps doing this, he doesn't have to do anything fancy. He doesn't have to do anything different. If he just keeps being a good person and wanting to help the people on his directory, he's going to succeed. I know it, right? So that's number one. The second one just came in right before we went live on today's call. And oh, look, there's another one. Ha ha ha. We'll get to that one here in a second. So this is Jam. Jam, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I am terrible at pronouncing names. But here's what Jam said. And this is another thing about this whole process, right? So Jam says he hasn't even loaded data into his directory yet because he's been tied up with the project this week. He's just been adding people that he knows to his directory and responding to Facebook posts while he was finishing up some loose ends. So if you go in our group, you'll see some of our members, they make little posts in local Facebook groups about their directory, get people to add their businesses. So he was doing that. Jam, again, look at this. Not worried about selling his premium packages, not worried about people claiming them. He said, look, I was talking to somebody, so I just offered them a premium package for free. He just thought, you know what? Let me just give some value here. I wanted this directory to look great. I want it to have a lot of premium listings. So I'm talking to this person. I'm just going to give them a premium listing for free so I have one on there. Then he got on a call after they claimed their business yesterday, and he just signed them up with his first paid invoice. $500 setup fee, $3,900 paid in advance for 6 months. That's $450 a month for the system and $200 a month for Google Ads management. They got a killer deal. I didn't want to go cheap, but I also wanted my first deal and much needed cash injection. So look at this, the power of this, right? And you'll see some more wins like this as well. So here's the thing, right? These people are not coming at these potential clients just like, hey, look at all this great AI stuff I can sell, right? That's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Selling AI capabilities instead of selling an outcome local businesses already want is a killer. So they're using the directory to uncover what the actual problems are this business has, and then they're addressing those problems, right? So once Jam started talking to this client, he's like, look, they need this, they need that. I see they have a problem. He didn't say like, you should get into AI. He's like, this is an actual problem you have. You need help with Google Ads management. I can do that and I'll fix it for you. Now, is he using AI to fulfill some of this stuff? Absolutely. But the client doesn't really care about that, right? So this is a big win, Jam. Way to go. And then this one I see just came in while we were live. John Desperito, first client so far. Here's another one. I mean, look at these examples of this, guys. If like, this isn't me, this isn't because I came up with this. These are people just like you in the group. While I was offering to have my neighbor friend on my free directory plan. So he's just telling his neighbor friend, hey, I have this directory site. I'm going to give you a free listing. He informed me how unhappy he was with the company who was supposed to be making him a top search on Google and get more business. I got him to trust me to build him a new site and put a chatbot on it. Small investment of $500 down and $250 a month, which mostly covers my unlimited plan, which is just upgraded to. Hope this gets the ball rolling to more clients. I mean, again, right? Leading with value. Let me put a post in here, right? I mean, this is great, right? This is awesome. Way to go, John. Let's see. Let me go to the celebrations tab. Let's see if there's any other ones we can do here. So we got 2 first clients. Look, here's another one. Free upgrade leads to a deal in New York City. This was Kaz. She just posted this. For those of you that haven't seen any posts from Kaz in the group, Kaz recently just had brain surgery. She's recovering from brain surgery. She can't go back to her job. She's doing this to try to get some income going. And she got her first premium client completely organically today. So she said, look, I haven't added any businesses yet or even launched yet. I just had to share a massive win that proves exactly how much hunger there is in the market for what we're building. Today, I had an adaptions company owner at my house installing some guardrails. So she needs guardrails in her house, right? So somebody's at her house doing that. She gets to talking to them. She shows them her directory. She explains what it's going to be about. I'm not going to read all of this, right? But this one organic conversation, which she had this directory to talk about, she was able to close them. They bought a premium listing. I mean, awesome, awesome deal. And you'll see lots of wins and stuff like this, right? New client, more deals, right? And this is the whole point of what we're doing here. Now, if you're new, there is one other thing I want to talk about with this situation, and that is the services that you sell on the back end. So first of all, kind of like I said, like, look, shifting our mental attitude about this stuff is one thing, but a lot of people think like, oh, if I just have the right automation, the right tool, the right service, I will magically start being successful. I will tell you there is no magic service. You can put the best AI solution in the world out there, but if nobody sees it and you can't have a conversation with a business owner about it, no one will buy it, right? It doesn't magically happen. But I do have some recommendations about the types of services that I think you should offer out of the gate to get results like I just showed here. And it's based on something I noticed with different services in the space. And it's what I call activity services versus results-based services. So let me explain those. So a results-based service, for those of you that may be new here, is something where the client is paying you to get a specific result, right? So let's say that you do SEO or now AEO, GEO. Well, when a client signs up for that service, it's a result-based service, because if they wake up a month from now or 2 months from now or 6 months from now and they type in their business and they don't show up, they're going to be calling you and being like, hey, this isn't working, right? Like, they're paying you for a result to be ranked higher. Other services are activity-based, though. Posting to social media. While the goal of posting to social media can be to get clients and generate revenue, what a client really pays you for is the actual posting, right? They don't have to do it. It's a labor they don't have to do, so they pay you for that, right? So I recommend when you're new and you're just trying to get your kind of like footing in this space, that you focus on activity-based services first. They tend to be a little easier to manage client expectations, and you can do that. So activity-based services are things like doing a website update, building a website, social media posting, optimizing somebody's Google business profile page. Now, these can lead to more business and things like that, responding to reviews, helping them generate more reviews. They're paying you to do that activity versus something like SEO or running their Google ads, where if the results of that stuff are off, they're going to be upset. And the reason I recommend you do activity-based when you're new is, again, it's just much easier to handle the client expectations. They see that you're doing the work. They know what they're paying for, all of that stuff. As you get more confidence and experience working with clients, then you can move into the results-based stuff, because you'll have a better handle on how to set the expectation, how to deal with the client. Trying to figure all that out when you're new can be a lot, right? So that's the first thing. I would recommend you go activity-based over results. Second, I recommend you stop trying to go for a monster whale deal right out of the gate, and you start with some type of foot in the door offer. So for instance, you could use a premium upgrade package as a foot in the door offer. So let's look at this plan I have here, the high roller that's $299 for the year, right? How would I use this as a foot in the door offer to sell additional services? Well, it's basically kind of what TD outlined there, right? So when a client would come in, I would say, hey, look, here are some things that I can help you with. I can do an online audit of your business. I can optimize your Google business profile. Like when I was setting up your listing, I noticed these issues. If you were to upgrade to this high roller plan, it actually includes fixing these issues I found. That makes sense to everybody? So remember that process that I talked about? We send them the email, right? We send them the email. We say, hey, you have a free listing. Is the information correct? They say, yes, it's correct. Then we respond and say, here's a link to your free listing. Oh, by the way, while I was setting up your listing, I noticed that your Google business profile page isn't claimed. I noticed that you haven't responded to reviews in a while. Well, I happen to have this little plan here. It's called the High Roller. And not only do you get an upgraded listing on the site, but as part of this, I will respond to any old reviews, optimize your Google business profile. I'll even give you 30 days of social media posting that you can use. And I will add an AI agent to your upgraded listing so that if somebody comes to your listing, the agent can answer questions about your business and actually book appointments directly from your business. And I may show them a little demo of that. Now, does that make this upgraded package sound like a killer deal? Absolutely, right? I just pointed out some problems they have, and by upgrading to this, not only do they get a premium listing, but they also get these things, right? So, hey Roger, what's up? Okay. All right, so that's how I would use this as a foot in the door offer to sell more of these, right? So look, I noticed that your Google business profile isn't claimed. Now, you don't have to, these are all custom things that I added. So one of the great things about Smart Directory AI is that you have the ability back here in your dashboard to create whatever plans you want. You can charge whatever you want for them, right? So if you don't do any of these things, like if you don't know how to do 30 days of social posting, or you don't know how to respond to reviews, well, you just don't put those on there. However, in the school group, if you go to the classroom section and you go in this market domination course, I recently put together this service fulfillment action guide that shows you exactly how to use Smart Directory AI to fulfill all of these services that I have listed here. So if you go and look at this guide, you can download it here. You will see it lists every service that we've talked about here, right? And there's a cheat sheet and there's the actual step-by-step of how to use the software to fulfill it. So if you don't know how to do these things, easy peasy, I have the answer here for you, right? And again, this is free for everyone in the Facebook group. You don't have to have Smart Directory AI to do this. You can, you can get the service fulfillment guide, follow it without it too, right? So that is exactly how I would use this as a foot in the door offer and sell more premium listings. Now, again, remember that process. We add the business, we send them an email. Is your information correct? They say, yes, it is, or they say, no, it's actually this. And you send them an email back and you say, awesome, I've corrected the information or I've confirmed your information. I really appreciate you. You're one of the first ones to do that on my directory. By the way, while I was setting up the listing, I noticed that you haven't claimed your Google business profile page. I shot a little video on how to do that or something like that, right? And then I would just say, look, if you upgrade to this plan, I can fix that for you and go through that spiel that I just gave you, right? But it's a conversation. I'm actually having a conversation with them and letting them know I can fix it. Is everybody with me on that and that process? Somebody says the software inside the directory. What do you mean, Rebecca? What do you mean there? Yeah, so inside Smart Directory AI, one of the things that we've done is we've loaded in a bunch of features that allow you to fulfill the services. They're not just related to the directory. So things like reputation, there's a whole reputation suite in here. There's a whole social planner, AI stuff and posting in here, things like that that will help you deliver those services on the back end. All right, so that's kind of the main part I wanted to go through here to share about this. And this is, by the way, how you take a client from $299 to paying you $1,000 a month. Because when the client says, hey, that sounds good, let's do that and fix these things, right? Now you're going to schedule a call with them once you've done this stuff. And you're going to say, hey, I just want to jump on a call just to kind of go over everything I did, make sure it meets your standards, just make sure I'm not missing anything. You jump on the call with them, you show them what you're doing. Look, I optimized your Google business profile. I got this all set up. We responded to all the reviews. Here's the 30-second custom video I created for you. Here's the social media posts, anything you want to change there. Here's the agent on your listing. And I also created a little online visibility report. Do you mind if we go through that real quick? Because I did find a couple things that I think you might want to consider addressing. Again, does everybody see how all that sounds? How it's so non-salesy, non-pushy? Like, we're just promoting them, and in the process of promoting them and helping them out, we're uncovering areas where we can help them. So I don't really think of myself as a salesperson with this approach. I more think of myself as a detective. I'm just looking, when people engage, I'm just trying to find, do they have a problem I can fix? Is there something I can help them with? And then I'm just offering to help them do it, right? Okay, all right. Now I want to spend a little bit of time answering your questions. So I'm going to scroll back up here to the top. If you have a direct question or something about your specific situation, let me know in the chat. And we're going to spend the next, 10, 15 minutes here going over that and answering those questions. So Cass is ready from Smart Dirt Shy. Hi all, happy Friday. Barbara said making a phone call with the prospecting. And Barbara, I know that you, I think have used the directory approach or are using the directory approach. One of the other nice things about this whole approach is you're not ever really cold calling anymore, right? Imagine this awkwardness, because I went through this. I hated this. You're like, okay, everybody, all the gurus say you have to cold call if you want to get results. You got to cold call. You got to cold call. That means you're just going to call up somebody cold, introduce yourself, tell them about what you're doing. That is that is the most painful phone call for me to make. It feels awkward. I feel uncomfortable. They feel uncomfortable. I know it feels uncomfortable. I hate that. But now imagine this scenario. You're a business owner. Maybe you got an email saying that you'd been added to this directory site. You didn't really have time to go check it out. You didn't even respond, but it's just kind of, something came about it, right? But you didn't really pay much attention to it. So now imagine 2 days later, you get a call and I'm like, hey, is this, John, the owner of blah, blah, blah? Yeah. Look, my name's Tom. I'm the guy behind the Vegas Thrive directory. I put your listing on there. It's live. I sent an email a couple days ago because I just wanted to make sure we had the right information. We use public data. The reason I'm calling you today is this is a little bit of a courtesy call. I just wanted to know, do you have a minute so that we can see if that information is correct? That's it, right? A courtesy call. Think about this. I'm not selling you. I'm not pitching you. I'm giving you a courtesy call because I'm trying to help you get the most out of this thing, right? Okay, let's verify your information. Awesome. That all sounds good. Look, once we get off this call, I'm going to send you a link to your live listing so you can check it out. By the way, before we go, I noticed when I was setting up your listing that you haven't claimed your Google business profile. Is there a reason for that? Kind of important for a local business to have that claimed? I've actually got a little special thing going right now. I can help you do it if you're interested, right? Those are those conversations, right? No more awkward calls. We're just reaching out to people. Hey, my name's Tom. I'm giving you a courtesy call because I saw that you claimed your listing on my directory site. And I just wanted to say thank you. I really appreciate you claiming the listing. This is a kind of what is it? A legacy project for me. And so I love it when local business owners get involved. I just wanted to take a few minutes, make sure everything is correct, see if there's anything I can help you with. Do you mind if we do that real fast? Right? Courtesy call. Courtesy call. No more cold calling. No more I'm calling to try to sell you something. Hey, I'm calling because I'm the person behind this awesome little resource site, and I just wanted to give you a courtesy call to blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'm Tom. I'm just giving you a courtesy call because I saw that you replied back with the correct information. I know the team got your listing set up. You should have gotten an email with your live listing. Did you get a chance to check that out? Do you have a minute to look at it with me? I just want to make, as the owner, I just want to make sure you're happy. Look at that shift. Is that a huge positioning shift? Could you feel good about those types of conversations? And by the way, you don't have to use the phone to do those. You can do all that through email as well. So, I mean, this just really changes all of that framing. Let me look through here. Jimmy says, I'm struggling to even get someone to let me perform a trial for services. And Jimmy, what process are you going through to reach out to them? So I would like to address Jimmy. So Jimmy, if you're still on here, let me know the process you're currently using. Maybe I can give you some pointers on that. Or I'd recommend maybe going through the directory process to give that a shot. By the way, you don't have to actually be a user or have a directory site set up to test if this method would work for you. Would you guys like for me to show you how to test this and see if this approach would work for you without having to have any of it? I mean, literally, you could test this in 10 minutes. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to scroll down here and see if there's any other questions while I'm going through here. If you guys want me to show you, I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how you can see if this approach would actually work without having to have a directory, without having to do anything. Strategic said, I'm looking for quality conversations. Me too. I would much rather have a small amount of quality conversations than be reaching out to thousands of businesses and not hearing anything. This is by far the best way to cut through the noise. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Coming down here. Santhosh, let me see. Where is your question? I'm scrolling up here. I don't see where you asked a question. Can you put your question back in again? I see. Let me look here. Are you belongs to Tom team? I don't know what that means. Are you belongs to Tom's team? I don't know what that question is. Yeah, Kaz, I saw your stuff on the Notebook L&M stuff. Really, really awesome. Oh, the fulfillment guide I just described. No, Rebecca, the fulfillment guide is in the school group. So look, if you go into the school group, at the top of the school group, there's these tabs. So one of them is Classroom. Click on that. And these are some free courses that all members of my school community get. In this market domination one, the service fulfillment guide is in there. So you can find it right there. Also, you can see like all of the live calls that we have for people in the community, so you can get your questions answered live and new trainings. And this is pretty nifty. I like this little map. It shows where all the people in the community are all over the world. Isn't that pretty cool? I think that's really great. I'm actually, let's see, who is in Mexico? I'm actually going to be in Mexico for a couple of weeks. I'm looking to see if I can see where Tulum is. I don't know what Tulum is close to, but I'll be in there. Anyway, okay. I don't want to get too distracted here. Okay. Kaz, what a great idea. Let's see. Detective Tom, that's right. You know, it's so funny. I always thought if I were going to create another agency, I was in the the doctor's office, and one of the scales that they have in the doctor's office, it's by a company called Detecto. It's called a Detecto scale, Detecco. And I thought, what a great name for a marketing agency. Detecto Marketing. I love that. Okay. So where it says, I had signed up almost a year ago, but due to lack of time, I was thinking to selling minimum $1,000 packages. That didn't work. Cold calling was odd to me. I will sign up again today. Awesome. Yeah, we've made a ton of improvements on the software, so I think you're going to find the process is a lot easier. Base call, somebody says, I can do that. You are Tom. Yeah. No, me no like it. I'm asking, I already directory created using Divi and WordPress. Is it possible to get the automations outreach configured to it? Unfortunately, I see what you say. So Santos is asking, he's already got a directory created with WordPress. Can he get the automations connected to it? I don't know about connecting the automations, Santosh, because we have a lot of the functionality is built in, like the claiming the listing process and all of that stuff. You may be able to do some things on the email side. But yeah, like the claiming, all of that stuff is built in. There's really no way to do that on another person's directory. From what I understood, when we have the directory, which I do, fulfillment comes from Go High Level as described in the guide. That is what I think I got. Rebecca, so you actually do the fulfillment, but it's the Go High Level tools that you use for fulfillment. So, let me just maybe kind of clarify this a little bit. So when you're logged into Smart Directory AI, what you're seeing here, so this is the Smart Directory AI software. It is built on top of high level tech, right? Meaning that when you log into your account, you're logging into a custom sub account from us that has all of the directory software and automations and all that stuff loaded into it so that you can use it. And we have the ability to either let you access other high-level functions or not. So when you see like in a thing here with automations, like when you see like these workflows and things like this, right? They work the same whether you're using, like whether you're logged into Smart Directory AI or whether you're using your own Go High Level account. So like this reputation section, this all works the same. So it doesn't matter whether you're using Smart Directory AI or you're using Go High Level, it all works exactly the same. So that's why the links in the document go to High Level Support, because it all works exactly the same. It's all laid out the same. You all see it there. That makes sense to everybody? I hope. Okay. Somebody says Tulum is East Coast. I'm in Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, I won't be there. I will, let's see, let's go in here. Patty, I'm not reading anything new right now. Bill says, I'm skilled with getting prospect sales and have several waiting, but fulfillment and Go High Level has slowed my movement as well. Yeah, Bill, I don't know what services you're offering. Maybe that service guide will help you. You might want to take a look and check that out. Also, you know, I recommend if you're looking for a high-level person that you go to so High Level has a certified admin directory. And if you go there, there's a bunch of people that are certified by High Level. You might be able to find somebody that can help you there and help you do that. Awesome. Perfect. Yes, you should install Smart Directory in a separate sub account. Absolutely. Yeah, so Patty, I'm still, I've been going back through the book I mentioned last week, the Dan Kennedy's new AI survival guide book. So I'm still reading that. I'll tell you a couple of other things that I read on the pretty regular. I subscribe to Dan Kennedy's marketing newsletter. I subscribe to Ben Settle's email marketing newsletter. I subscribe to Doberman Dan's newsletter. These are all print newsletters that show up in my mailbox. Like, you can't even get them online, right? Like, they are print, they're old school. I love them. They have a ton of good stuff, so I'm always reading those and getting ideas from there as well. Bill says thanks. You're welcome, Bill. All right, any other questions about anything AI services related, AI related, local marketing, smart directory related? Just let me know. I want to take a look over here real quick. Okay. One other thing that I want to talk about here is we have made a decision at Smart Directory AI. So right now, currently, if you sign up for Smart Directory AI, so like if you just go to smartdirectory.ai, which is our main website. So here I'm going to pull this up and you click on this Get Started Now. You will see that we have two options available. So there is a single directory site that comes in at $99 a month. And then we have this unlimited sites for $299 a month. So this plan means that you can build an unlimited amount of directories and the price never goes up. You're locked in at $299. Well, looking at kind of like where we're going, what we're doing, the economics of the software business itself, we are going to be discontinuing this $299 unlimited plan. So right now we're running a special promotion. You can, if you are someone who wants to build multiple directories, right now you can lock in this $299 a month unlimited. And as long as you stay an active member, you will always have it. But moving forward, people who come in, the $299 a month plan will not be unlimited. They're going to get a set number of directory sites. We're still working that out. I think 5 is how many they're going to get for $299 a month. But it'll no longer be unlimited. So if you're interested in locking in the unlimited, now's your chance. So if you go to smartdirectory.ai/scale, it will take you to this page. And I don't know. Oh, there we go. Took a minute. And you can you'll see this page. So it's smartdirectory.ai/scale. If somebody could pop that in the comments for me, Cameron. You'll end up on this page. Now, there's only one option here, and that is to lock in the unlimited. So when you click this, you'll be taken to this page to lock in unlimited. As long as your subscription stays active, you will never lose this. You will be able to do unlimited, even though everyone else coming in moving forward will be capped at 5 directory sites. So if this is of interest to you, check out smartdirectory.ai/scale and lock that in. If not, you can still sign up for the single site license, and it has all the same features. The big difference between this and the single site is just the number of directories that you can create. So that's what we got there. Let me see. Okay, let me go to the comments, see if there's any other last minute comments on here as well. I just started Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Oh, that is a great book. I love that book. Love that book. Read that book multiple times. Are all your coaching calls recorded and saved on your YouTube channel? Yes, they are. And if you go to this, remember this post I mentioned in the school group, the coaching calls post? If you go here, there is actually a list, like right here is the playlist. So you can just click this and you can see all the coaching calls that I've done on Fridays. They're all listed in here, so you can go back and watch all of them. So we have that as well, right? That's also the post where you get the bonus doc. And the link, if you want to lock in unlimited, smartdirectory.ai/scale. Again, that's going to be that special offer, that special promotion for that is closing, I think, this weekend. And yeah, moving forward, anybody who comes in at $299 a month, they'll only be able to get 5 directories. So if you're interested in that, if you're looking at scaling, doing this in multiple locations, do that as well. AI review responses and high roller offers limited to 30 or 60 days. Then you're on upgrade to a monthly paid plan. Yes, Don, Absolutely. That's how I handle that. So unless it's just something like, if it's something that I can automate and I don't have to deal with it anymore, then maybe I would think of including it in there. But my plan would be, look, in that specific setup that I showed you earlier, let me pull this up. Let me talk about this for a minute, because I think this is a great question and thing he's bringing up. Because my plan here is annual, right? They're paying $299 one time per year, right? You don't want to be stuck doing a bunch of stuff every month and not really making any money, right? So if you look at this AI review response, what I would really do for them here is respond to any old reviews that they have not responded to. So I would target businesses that maybe have, 200, 300, 500, 1,000 reviews, but they've never responded to any of them. I can use the reputation section here to respond to those. And you can actually go in here and set it like only respond to reviews that are more than 30 days old. And it'll go through and just respond to those reviews. So it's more like of a one-time thing. Or I would set it up like you suggest and say, look, I'll do this for 30 days. At the end of that, we can evaluate what you're doing, right? The same thing here with this, the 30 days of social media posting, right? That's the same thing I'm doing there. Look, you get 30 days. If you want more, I can help you with that. And then I use this agent on their listing. I'll say, look, I've set the agent up on your listing, but I notice you don't have one on your website. That'd be really valuable. I can do that for you too. Here's what that costs, right? So every single thing that they're getting in here, if you're paying attention to what I'm doing here, this is the psychological part of this, right? And the long-term revenue part of this. Everything that's in here leads to me offering them some type of monthly recurring service long-term. That's why I specifically picked these things, right? Because again, this is the foot in the door offer, right? I'm using this to get my foot in the door on these things and then sell them additional stuff. Bill, I'm actually getting ready to go out of town. So I'm actually heading to Mexico. I'm going to be there for a few weeks. But Bill, if you shoot an email to tom@smartdirectory.ai, I'll be checking the email. Cameron's also here. Just kind of give me an overview, maybe even record a little video if you want, explaining the situation to me. And then I can take a look at it and I can have Cameron help you and figure out what we can do there, right? Lacey says, can you drop a link to a sample directory? Sure. If I can spell. Let's see. Got to put the HTTPS in front of there. Also, too, Lacey, if you go into, who said that? Local, where is it at? Lacey, if you go into the school group, so go into the school group and then just type in live directories. You'll see a bunch of people post their, maybe that's not the best one. Live site. Yeah, you'll see a bunch of people in here post their sites. There was even a post in here that just had a ton of example sites in it as well. But you'll find a lot in here. You could also just make a post in here and say, hey, anybody willing to share their directories with me? I mean, there's a bunch. So, okay. What kind of 30-second video do you do? That's a great question. So I use Canva AI to create that. And again, that whole process is explained in the services guide. So if you go in the school group, go to market domination and you go to services fulfillment in this guide. I think I already had it open. But if you scroll down here, here's how to create the 60-second video for listings. It's actually 60 seconds, But I use a Canva template. It's really easy to do. You just get some images from them. It does it all. So I show you exactly how to do that right in there. Awesome. Oh, awesome, Lacey. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions or anything. All right. Well, look, we're going to wrap up today's live coaching call. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love the questions. I love the interaction. Look, if you have any other questions, feel free to post them in the school group. Reach out to our support, smartdirectory.ai/help. That's the fastest way to get responses or help with anything technical. Look, the AI space is already crowded. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. You need to have a way to reach out to people that you don't sound like everybody else, and you can actually lead with real value. I think Smart Directory AI is the best way to do that. We've worked really hard to put together a software system that gives you everything you need to make that happen. So if you haven't checked out Smart Directory AI or you're interested, just go to smartdirectory.ai/start free. You can sign up for a free trial. You can check it out. Remember, we're going to be discontinuing the $299 unlimited plan. So if you're interested in locking that in, you go to smartdirectory.ai/scale. All right. Until then, stay safe this weekend. I will see you back here on another live